Hello, I'm going to go over the math section on ACT practice test in 2018 and 19 version. So it looks like this. You can print this out from the link that I posted under the video. And math is in section 2, 60 questions for 60 minutes. Okay. So let me enlarge this so it's easy for you to see. Okay, so let's start from number 1. So Marco's favorite casserole recipe requires 3 eggs and makes 6 servings. So it makes, with 3 eggs, it makes 6 servings. And Marcus will modify the recipe by using 5 eggs now, same ratio, increasing other ingredient in the recipe proportionally. What is the total number of serving the modified recipe will make? So X, right? So what do? When you set up a ratio, you cross multiply it. So 5 times 6 is 30, which should equal to 3 times X. So when you divide by 3 on both sides, X equals to 10. So ACT is easier in terms of math. So if you are better at science, it's mostly reading, not real science, then you can take ACT instead of SAT. The 35-member history club is meeting to choose a student government representative. The member decided that the representative who will be chosen at random cannot be any of the 3 officers of the club. What is the probability that Hirogo, who is a member of the club, not an officer, will be chosen? So there are 35, and it seems like 3 are officers. So there are 32 just members, not officers, and it's 1 out of that, right? So the answer will be 1 out of 32, which is K, right? Out of 35, she's not an officer, which means she is 1 of the 32. Number 3. For the value of X, is the equation that true? What value of X? So if you have exponent, same base, with exponent, and if they're equal, then the exponent must be also equal, right? This must equal to 15, so it's just 2-step equation. Subtract 7 from both sides, so 2x equals to 8. When you divide by 2, x is 4. B. Number 4, let the function f be defined as f of x equals to 5x squared minus 7 times 4x plus 3. What is the value of f of 3? Meaning just put x equals to 3, right? So it's 5 times 3 squared is 9, minus 7 times 4 times 3 plus 3. And for ACT, you can use calculator for the math section, but you can do all of the question without a calculator. So don't try to use it every single time, just when you need a calculator, okay? Sometimes it takes quicker to just do it by hand. So 5 times 9 is 45, minus 12 plus 3 is 15. So like something like this, 15 times 7, you can quickly do it on the calculator, 1 of 5. So 45 minus 1 of 5 is 70. 45 minus 1 of 5 is negative 60. So J. Okay. Let's go to number 4. Oops. 5. A wallet contains $5 bill, 7 $10 bills. So a wallet has 5 $5 bills, 7 $10 bills, and 8 $20 bills. Okay? Is found and returned to its owner. The wallet's owner will reward the finder with one bill drawn randomly from the wallet. What is the probability that the bill drawn will be $20 bill? How many are there? 8. And how many bills are there in total? 20, right? 12 plus 8 is 20. So what is the probability of choosing 20, which is 8 of them out of 20? When you divide by 4, top and bottom, it's 2 out of 5. So it is D. Number 6. ABC Book Club charges $40 monthly fee plus $2 per book read in the month. So let's call it A. Store A charges 40, which is a flat fee. We can use a linear equation. Y equals to mx plus b. Y is the slope. B is the flat fee or y-intercept. So its flat fee was 40 monthly fee and $2 per each book. So if x is the number of books, you can write it as 2x plus 40. And Easy Book Club, let's just call it E for easy. And monthly fee is $35 and $3 per book. So for each club, how many books must be read in 1 month for the total charges from each club to be equal? So we are setting those two equal to each other. So it's 2x plus 40 equals to 3x plus 35. So move smaller x to make the x positive. So minus 2x, minus 2x. Now you have to move 35 by subtracting. So I get x equals to 5. So 5 books to be equal. Yeah. 7. In parallelogram ABCD below, AC is a diagonal. Most of the time, if you get this, you don't have to read the rest because they usually mark the units on the diagram. So now the question is, what is the angle of CAD? This. So what do you do? For parallelogram, opposite angles are equal. So 40, 40 there, opposite angles. Then just look at this triangle. What do they need to add up to 180? So 180 minus the other two angles will give you this angle. So that is 140 minus 57. So it's 140 minus 57, which gives you 83 degrees. D. Okay. Number 8 on the other side. So number 8, when x is half, what is the value of this? So 8 times half is 4 minus 3 over half, right? So it is 1 over 2. So you have to flip 1 over 1 half is flip of 1 over 2, which is 2. So it is 2. 9. In the standard XY coordinate plane, what is the midpoint of the line segment as the endpoint of these two? So if you have here and there, you're looking for the middle, what you need to do is you add x's together and find the average. And for the y, you do the same thing. Just add the y's and divide by 2 because you're looking for middle of x and middle of the y. Okay? So what do you do? X's, it's 3 plus 1. So 4 divided by 2 comma. 8 plus negative 4 is 4 over 2, which is 2, comma 2. It is D. I don't know what this box is for, but it is 2, comma 2. 10. The fluctuation of the water depth at the pier is shown below. One of the following value gives the positive difference in feet between the greatest water depth, which is 12, and the least water depth, which is 6. 12 and 6. So what is the difference? So positive difference in feet between those two must be 6. Oops. It is 6. 11. What is the slope of the line through those two? So how do you find the slope? You can plot the point and find rise over run. It's negative 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So you know it's negative slope from left to right. It can't be positive, so it has to be one of these 3. Right? You can do rise over run, how much it's going down. It's going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And running 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is negative 3 over 2. What else can you do? You can do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. x1, y1, x2, y2. And plug in the numbers. Negative 5 minus 1 over 2 minus negative 2 is negative 6 over 4, which will give you the same answer. There are multiple ways to do it. Okay. So now, number 12. In Cherokee County, the fine for speeding is $17. For each mile per hour, the driver is traveling over the posted speed limit. In county, Kirk was fined $221 for speeding on the road with the posted speed limit of 30. So how much did he over speed? So for each speed, he has to add $17. So if you paid $221, you have to divide by 17. 221 divided by 17 is 13. Yes. So 13 miles per hour, right? But the thing is, it's asking how much he over speeded, but it is about what the actual speed was. So speed was 30, but he's increased it by 13, so the total is 43. It's not just asking for the overspeed miles or overspeed, it's the actual speed, so you have to add 30 to it. 13, what is the sum of the solutions? So sum of the x and y. Okay, so 8x is 12. So when you divide by 8, you get x equals to 12 over 8, which is, when you divide by 4, it's 3 over 2, which is 1.5. And 2y plus 10 equals to 22. So when you subtract 10 from both sides, I get 2y equals to 12. So when you divide by 2, your y equals to 6. So x is 1.5, y is 6. So it's 7.5, which is 7.5. B. 14. The average of 5 district scores has the same value as the median of the 5 scores. The sum of that means, so there are 5 numbers, and when you add all these numbers and divide by 4 or 5, that is same as the mean, the middle number. So this is median and also average, right? Average means the mean. All right, so the sum of the 5 scored is 42. What is the sum of the 4 scored that are not the median? So the sum of the 5 scores is, so the average, if the total is 420, you divide by 5, so it's 420 divided by 5, which is 84. So this is 84, right? Because it says the average was the middle number. What is the sum of the 4 scores that are not? So what do? You subtract from the total. We're excluding 84. So you subtract 48. And now you're dividing by these 4. We are excluding this one, so you divide by 4. So it's 420 minus 84. Press enter force, never divide by 4 altogether, unless you put the parentheses. So it is What is the sum of the 4 squares? Okay, so we didn't even have to divide by 4. It's 336H. Okay. 15. What is the value of the expression below? So after value means you take the negative signs away. Negative 8 plus 4 is negative 4. So after value of negative 4 is 4. Minus 3 minus 9 is negative 6. So absolute value is 6. So 4 minus 6 is negative 2. Absolute value of that is 2. D. 16. Which of the following expression is equivalent to x to the 2/3? So whatever it's in denominator is a cube root. Or if it's 2, it's square root. If it's 4, it's 4th root. And 2 is to the x. Just the power. So it's k right there. Right? So number 17. In the standard x, y coordinate plane, what is the sum of the line, or what is the slope of the line given by the equation of that? So you have to write it y equals mx plus b. M is the slope. So you have to solve for y. So divide by 7. So 4x over 7 is now y plus 5 over 7. What do you do with 5 over 7? Subtract. But you don't really worry about it, right? Because we are just looking for the slope. 4 over 7 is the slope. It's y equals to 4x over 7 minus 5 over 7. This is the y-intercept, right? But it's asking for the slope, so you just have to worry about what is in front of the x. 18. For the following conditions, will the sum of the integers, m and n, always be an odd integer? So m is an odd, but if let's say it's 1. If n is odd again, then it becomes even, so no. Same thing, if n is odd and m is odd, then they're even, so no. M and n are both odd, then it is even when you add it. M and s are both even plus even, like 2 plus 2 is even, so no. M is odd and the other one is even, then 2 plus 1, even plus odd, becomes odd, so K. 19. The length of 2 legs of the right triangle, ABC, is shown below. The midpoint of AB is shown how many inches from A? So a lot of times, you can use 3-4-5 ratio, or you can do A squared plus B squared equals to C squared, right? Look at this. Isn't 24 3 times 8? Isn't this 4 times 8? 3, 4, then this must be 5 times 8, which is 40, right? Or you can use the Pythagorean theorem again, and you will get this length, 40, like 24 square equals to 32 square, and you take a square root of it to find C. When you plug into the calculator, you get 40. So midpoint of AB must be 20 away from A, so it is B. In triangle ADEF, the length of DE is square root of 30 inches, and the length of EF is 3 inches. If it can be determined, what is the length of in inches of DE? So if you have a triangle DEF, if DE is square root of 30 and EF is 3 inches, this side must be less than the sum of these two and greater than the difference. So it can be square root of 30, it can be square root of 33, so can't be determined. There are multiple possible lengths that could be length of DF.